Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Folks, I want to take today to talk about the A-League Season 12 Ultimate Conquest season. As you can see, the season is over, the champions have been crowned, and my current alliance, BC, was lucky enough to be the victors. Now, I don't want to just spend this talking about us. I really want to explain the path that we had to get there and what exactly this season was really about, because it truly is an underdog story. As you can see, the top seed in the A-League was TXU. They're now just reverted back to the WTP Alliance. They have Maromia, Sparta, many very, very strong accounts. Max accounts that, frankly, not a single account in our alliance could compete with. That being said, we managed to beat them, and I want to tell the story of how we got there. So going back to even the Alliance Conquest season, as you can tell, this was a very top-heavy situation in which the three top alliances, TXU, BC, and UTB, went pretty much untouched. TXU played at their own time slot at 1300, where they didn't face much of any opposition. Both BC and UTB did most of their matches at 1900, and as a result, they had to face each other a few times. On their first occasion facing each other, UTB won. Full credit to them, they were extremely well coordinated, and they utilized their strong accounts well, and they beat us. Now, BC went pretty much undefeated other than that, but because we wanted to avoid UTB at that point, we began doing some of our matches at off times, such as 0100, because we also wanted to prepare for the fact that in the Ultimate Conquest season, we knew that a lot of the matches would be at that time. So, getting into the season, as you can see, we have our top 16 teams. And again, as by its nature, the bottom half of teams were just really not able to compete at the same level as the top teams, just because of just the power distribution with them. So in our first match, we faced BFW, and again, it just wasn't much of an interesting match, just given the power disparity. But after that, in our next match, we had a very interesting opponent. We faced the SIU Alliance here, and definitely another one where they weren't bad, but they just weren't really able to meaningfully compete against us, just because of the power disparity. Now, after that is where it definitely got more interesting. We faced our old enemy in UTB. Now, UTB, as I said before, had beaten us, but it was before we had a lot of the new rally leads for our Ultimate Conquest season, and there was a lot of things that we tried to do to improve some of our systems for Ultimate Conquest. There were a lot of efforts made to make sure that we got swaps in on the right people, that people actually reinforced more properly. And I think during the Alliance Conquest season, a lot of alliances, I know we felt this way, didn't want to push people to overheal or to go crazy with speed ups, just save them for the Ultimate Conquest season. But now Ultimate Conquest is here, people want to pull out all the stops, and we did, and we managed to win in a pretty convincing fashion. So this was very encouraging for us. That being said, the round after that was against TXU. And look, TXU is objectively stronger than us. I would argue that if we face them probably 7 or 8 times out of 10, they're going to beat us. If we're not going to go really hard and pull out all the stops, there's just no way to compete with them because they have so many near max accounts or just max accounts that they're going to be able to burn us very, very easily. So at that point, we threw that match and we went down to the losers bracket. Now, in the losers bracket, we had a very interesting matchup brewing down there. UTB, GCM, as well as HWA were kind of all duking it out, and HWA emerged as the team to beat that we had to face. I will fully admit, I think we were a little bit surprised by this. We were kind of expecting it to be that we were going to face UTB again. But, good on HWA. They pulled out the win. They had a lot of power. They got it at the right time slot, and they made it into that, third place round. So we faced HWA. again, similarly, we didn't have a ton of problem with them just because we had enough power that we were able to really handle them pretty well. Even though they do have more overall power than us, we had more rally leads power than they did, and as a result, we were able to win pretty handily. Now, we are now in the final round. It is us and TXU. And I know that you all already know the result, but I want to kind of take a second to explain how we did it. Because let's be very clear, they had stronger accounts, they have more overall power, there's really no reason that we should be able to win. And unfortunately, a lot of the systems, such as swapping and trying to put your strongest players in different buildings, everyone does that. It's nothing new. TXU does it, we do it. We're not going to be able to beat them that way. But what we did was we tried to just out-strategy them as much as possible. And there were a couple of key things that we did. The first thing that we did was we made sure that the couple of strong accounts they had were kind of constantly distracted. So they loved to kind of solo buildings. I mean, some of those strong accounts are able to march with 2 million troops, and that's basically a mini rally in and of itself. And so they're willing to solo stuff down, and they're probably going to win most of those hits. But what we would do is we would take a building like an outpost, and when they would solo it, we would just disband it on them. We would allow General or Maromia to take that building and say, we would rather you be stuck in there and not able to do anything else than to continue to solo us. And what normally happened was they would take it, and then eventually they would need to disband it because they want to be able to solo something else. They want to set up rallies with that account, or they want to put that account in a different building. And the second they disband it, we just have someone watching it at all times. They can run in, grab it back for us, and then repeat the cycle. So what this does is it puts them so far behind in the game of kind of constantly wanting to rally the opponent's buildings, they are constantly being put behind by having to disband a building that they already control. So as a result, that really enabled us to kind of keep them on the back foot. The next thing, and if you've been following any of the Discord or anything else going on, you'll know that there was a big meme surrounding the mines. Everyone knows how important the mines are, but we went absolutely crazy for the mines. We used rally speed-ups. We just tried to absolutely crush as quickly as possible to get in on those mines and then try to stay there. And we were reinforcing like crazy. People were healing. We were shouting, hold the mine, hold the mine. That was all that mattered. And as you can see from the result, it was all that mattered for the result. We were able to win. We were able to beat an alliance that was absolutely stronger than us. And we did it by just kind of outplaying them. And I really think that the takeaway I have from this is that Alliance Conquest is still a really fun event because that can happen. Because the stronger alliance doesn't always win. I'm not going to go into full detail about it because I frankly don't know a lot about it. But if you look at Season 12 here, you'll notice the same thing. At the very top of this should have been a dominating alliance in HON. They were by far the strongest alliance here. They've got 89 million power. They had no business losing in that final round. Yet, for somehow, some way, ESQ was able to beat them. And look, ESQ is a very strong alliance, don't get me wrong, but they're certainly underpowered, and I think most people would have thought a 65 billion power alliance has no business beating an alliance with almost 90. That's just not... And Han is a strong alliance. They have a lot of really strong accounts. But it just goes to show that even though a lot of people know about swapping, about some of the basic strategy, there are still a lot of things that make a difference. Having a good shot caller, all of those things really matter. And I think that we took advantage of it. It seems like ESQ took advantage of it. And we were able to make some pretty big upsets this season. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed learning a little more about the results of both the A-League and the B-League Ultimate Conquest this Season 12. Like I said, it's really, really exciting that we're seeing that strategy can defeat power. Obviously, there are some limits. You do need to have a good bit of power. I'm not going to pretend that we didn't. We did have a lot of power, and we were a very, very strong alliance. But definitely at the end of the day, the difference maker was the strategy. And that's something exciting, something that we are really proud of, and I hope that you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about it. If you want to watch the video of the actual match, you certainly can. I will link a few different chroniclers who've posted videos of them, and I hope that you guys can enjoy that. This is obviously not that. I just wanted to talk about the results, how we got there, and what it's all like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this is a little bit different from me and what I normally do. If you did, please let me know. If not, I am going to try to do a lot of my more regular content, but hope you guys did enjoy this on some level. And until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr. I'll see you then.